Well, hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the storage slash junk building. And if you remember in the last video, I said I was going to get some pieces of wood to put in between the studs on the water wall and the wall by the toilet. I'm just going to put some spacers in between the studs down at the shower pan edge so I can caulk that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to get me a couple scraps of wood. This is the reason we don't hardly ever throw anything away, but we just need more buildings to store in, because all these pieces of wood, you never know when they're going to come in handy. And I've already see enough pieces of wood where I can make it work. So we're going to get a few pieces of wood. I got to find a circular saw. I don't have to have a circular saw, but it'd be easier. My Craftsman one, my cordless one. I've got 3 of them down here that have cords on them. But me, now I got to have the battery one. It's here somewhere. So anyway, I get the wood, get up there, and get started while I watch a football game at the same time. So that's going to be tricky, but I'll get it done. All right, I got my boards in here so I can caulk this, and like I said before, drywall over top that, and then our finished board over top that, and then caulk that. I'm gonna bead caulk that, and I'll caulk on top of that. And I got this in here, and then we decided to put some blocking in right here for a grab bar where we're getting older. And then put it in at the height where over here, when you're on the toilet, you can still have a grab bar also. So, all right, so where we're at on that. So I'm going to finish my caulking and let that set up. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and get this wire. I'm going to cut a hole in the ceiling here and see if I can fish over to where that light box is, well, beside it. I'll have to set a box over there and then try to get to the light fixture somehow. Now again, this one don't have to be real neat because it's going to be underneath drywall. So I'm just trying to get a good bead on there. The next one we put on, it'll have to be nice. Okay, I've got the caulking done. Like I said, this is probably not even necessary. Got it around to there. Because my drywall will be coming down, meeting on the ledge here. Over here there is no ledge, so I'll bring it. I won't touch it all the way down to the tile or to the tub, about 1/4 of an inch off, and I'll probably caulk that joint, and then whatever material we put on the outside of our wall board for the waterproof, we're going to glue it on, and then it'll come down, and it will come all the way down to the tub pan, and then I will caulk that with a good bead, and that auto waterproof is pretty good. So now I'm going to hopefully not, I'm probably going to have to let this set up a little bit. Shouldn't take too long because I need to cut a hole in the ceiling right up here, and I'm going to see if I can fish this wire for my fan light over to this light box, or near this light box I should say, because I'm thinking there's going to be, everywhere you have a strip in the ceiling, I'm thinking that's where a joist is. So we will find out shortly. Well, good morning. I've decided, instead of starting out by cutting a hole in the ceiling in the shower, fishing the wire, I'm going to figure out how the wiring is going first, so I can figure out where to take it to, instead of assuming it's going to the ceiling like here, because I've got 2 switches here, so we're really gonna, the one over here that we're going to be eliminating the door, I'm going to try to make that switch the one that turns the exhaust shower light on, shower light and fan on. That's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I'm going to take some time here and troubleshoot to see how the wires are running, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, what I have figured out is this wire right here. Yeah, this wire right here is going over to the switch on the wall. That is what's controlling all these lights right now. This switch doesn't have any power on it. You can kind of yank on it and hear it going up the wall, which would tell you that it's going up here to this light box. But it is not going up to this light box. All we've got right now is, of course, this light hooked on it. This wire is going over to the light fixture there. Then it splices and goes over to that light fixture. So what I'm going to do, because remember what we're trying to create here is another light switch for our fan. Turn it around here. Another light switch for our fan and light that's going right there. So we need a hot, or what's called a switch leg, for when you turn the switch on. It sends power to what you're trying to turn on and off and on. And then we need a white wire, a neutral wire, and a ground wire. So the easiest thing for me to do, because like I mentioned before, I think each one of these little strips on the ceiling, show you again, see that strip there, and then that strip there, that's where, I've been saying joist, a truss, whatever you call it in a mobile home, that's where we have wood at. So instead of cutting a real big hole, what I'm going to try to do is just, I'm going to have a small hole right here out from there, bring my wire above the ceiling, come out that hole, and then I will use wire mold. I'll put a wire mold box extension on that, come over with wire mold to hit that, and then hopefully be able to go above the ceiling again, so I don't have a bunch of wire mold, and then come out of the ceiling right here, have a short piece of wire mold, and then go in the wall down and cut a 2-gang box in here and have 2 switches. Extend the switch leg we already have, and then add another hot and another switch leg for the shower. It won't be too hard to do. Shouldn't be too hard to do. We will find out. But that's the plan. So for today, I'm just going to try to get my wire stuck out of the ceiling right here, so I can continue on with my shower. And that's the plan. Sounds easy, doesn't it? We'll find out. Well, okay, I was able to fish my, what I call fish sticks. These are small ones, have each piece is about 12 inches long. Screw them together as long as you need them. And I was able to push it from here. Small hole. I had a small hole up here. Ended up being just a little bit further than my fingers could reach. So I cut it a little bit bigger and I was able to grab it and pull it out. It's kind of hard to do this. There's just not much room to film in here. So anyway, I'm getting ready to tie my wire onto that and then I'll pull it in. Alright, feels like it's stuck on something. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, I got it broke loose. Uh-oh. I'll have to unhook my fan because I'm not going to pull that back out. I just put it underneath the wood here. Oh boy. Now, I could either take it loose here and redo it, which I believe that's what I'm going to do. because it got stuck up here. It must have went through something and got snagged on it. So I don't want to have to do all that again. All right. Well, let me pull it in a little bit more. All right, just wanted to show you, in case you didn't see my other video when I installed the fan, was they give you can put the fan and light on 2 separate switches if you want. That would be, it really doesn't matter which one, but blue wire is usually for the fan, and black wire is usually, blue wire, sorry, is for the light fixture, and black is for the fan. But if you're just going to have one switch, you just put them in as you want it. Pretty elementary. So now that I've fixed my little mess up, got the wire on the top side instead of the bottom side. Well, hello, welcome back. This is exactly a week later after I did my electric. So this weekend, the main, I feel like I'm jumping back and forth here, and I am, but the reason I am is the reason I went ahead and took my electric out is that way I can finish my shower. The electric is going to be the last thing I finish up after the shower's done. So this weekend the weather's starting to change, and it's probably going to be permanent. This is a little bit less. This is 2 days less than Thanksgiving. Saturday. This is Saturday, so Thanksgiving's less than a week away. Yesterday it was 60 something degrees. Today it's only supposed to be in about 51. And tonight it's going to get down in the 20s, and weather's going to start changing is what I'm saying. And so by next weekend it's going to be in the 40s or so, which is still not bad for this time of year. But as far as getting my water changed over and my drain done, I have to get under the trailer and for the drain to do my water. I got to get my closet I've mentioned before outside. So between today and tomorrow I have to at least get my water shut-offs on right here and get it all ready, and my drain done. I'm probably going to do my drain first, and the reason being is when I had about a month ago or so, I had something go wrong in my half bath. So I was if I would have had shut-offs on my water lines, I wouldn't even have to turn my water off. So I go out and turn my water off, and I've got 2 shut-offs on the cold coming in. One is where it comes out of the ground under the trailer, and then one up by my water heater. When they replumbed this trailer, they put shut-offs on the cold and the hot for the water heater, which is a good idea. But after I shut all that off, came inside, the cold water was still running, just like it was like a like if your faucet wouldn't turn off, it just had a drip. So I had to keep a paint, because I just couldn't get it shut off, and I was afraid to keep forcing my water lines. I didn't want to mess up the shut-off valve. So I basically fought the whole time, I would hold down in the pan water, trying to work with it. Robin had to help me do that also. Anyway, we got all that done. So I wanted, hopefully that's not going to happen this time. But if it, I know what to do now, and I'll have the parts ready before I do that. But so hopefully, if it does do that, if I have my drain hooked up, I can just hold it down here and work on it, and problem's solved. But the first thing I'm going to do when I go out, when I take you outside to my shut off where my water heater's at, is I'm going to see if there's another shut off somewhere that I missed, because it shouldn't have been leaking like it was. I know you'll have a little bleed off on your faucets sometimes when it drains down, but this just never did. It was like it was not shut off. So hopefully that'll get solved. So I'll turn you around here and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing today. Okay. What I've got to do today, and here's one of my fittings right here. I know it's not very bright. I should have brought my flashlight in. So I've got to get it disconnected from here and get it. I'm gonna put find all the parts. I gotta find all my parts that are in here or under the trailer, one or the other. And I'm 95% sure I've got everything I need. But what happened in my bathroom that I've told you about was all I was doing was changing the faucet out. And when I went to take this loose from the water line under the sink in my other bathroom, it cracked all the way around here. I guess we've been on there so long, it cracked, would not seal. So I had to go before Lowe's closed that night and find something to make it work, and I did. So I want to try to make sure I have something in place for that. That I won't be running around in a frantic trying to get it fixed. So get these with the shutoffs on them, and then I can turn my water back on, and then I can finish on my plumbing. I got my shower valve here, on-off valve, and go up to my shower head. And after that, I just plug the holes with foam spray, and then I'll be ready to finish the walls with our board. So, sounds like a game plan, doesn't it? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple more pieces of block in here and put the grab bar on right here that we have right now. I've got a grab bar available, so I'm going to do that. Robin wanted one on there, so I'll get that done. I've got to put one other piece of block. See how I've got the blocking here? I'm going to put a couple more pieces here and down at the floor, and all that is for a nailer. So when I put my wall board up here, I'll have something to screw to. That's all that's for. A lot of little things you gotta get prepared before you don't want to get the cart in front of the horse when you're doing something like this, and I'm notorious for doing that. And since I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm trying to figure it out as I go. So let me take you outside. Well, I'm going to finish the blocking here. I'm not going to worry about videoing that. And then I'll take you outside and show you the water heater closet. Okay, here's my water heater. There's the two water shut-offs. But down below here on the cold line, the main water is coming up out of the ground. And it just has the old, kind of like the old design like this right here. And even when you turn it all the way, or what I thought was all the way off, it still was leaking some. So I'm not going to mess with changing that. I mean, water shut off is way down at the road. Yeah, I only know if I could shut the water off. I might be able to. If I do that, I'll probably just hire somebody to do that. I wish I could hire somebody to do this. All right. I believe I got all the parts to do my drain, which, as you can see, is going to be the most difficult. Now mind you, this is an old trailer. Now probably this is the 2 water lines. When I go to do the water, I'm probably just going to pull all this slack up and then just hook it. I may just nix the idea of putting shutoffs on it for right now. Once I get all the slack up in there, I'll see. But what I've got to do with the drain is not going to be fun. Let me see if I can crawl under here and show you. Camera's going to get a little wobbly for a while. Okay. Now, there's my drain coming down from my shower. It's got a 2-inch. I got to reduce it down to 1.5 inches because this part of the drain is 1.5 inches. Then it's going to, I don't have my trap. Then it's got to come over top of the beam here. And then it's got to tie in right here. I guess you can, if you have trouble seeing it, I'm sorry, but I'm laying on my back right now. So, my fitting, let me get my fitting and show you here. Whatever they call this fitting. It's got to go right here. Barely gonna fit. The bad part is you can't see it right now, but there's a 2x6 scabbed onto this other 2x6, and it's probably going to be in the way of the fitting. So I'll have to cut this metal strap loose that's holding everything up, and hopefully it doesn't get too out of shape. And I'll probably have to take a saw and cut a part of that out, but I'm not going to worry about that until I get to that point. I'll get the drain stubbed over the wall here so I can see where it's going to be coming to. And then I'll worry about that fitting. But I got to make this fitting fit right here, because there's the 2-inch line. That's all glued together, of course, and it reduces down to the 1.5 inches to come down to the sinks and what used to be the bathtub. So I can't tie on to the drain that was here for the bathtub. Let me sit up here, because I got a 2x6 right here. What I don't want to do is I don't want to cut that. See, this is going to be sitting kind of like this. So I would have to cut that much of the 2x6 out. I mean, I know it'd be notched, but still you're going all the way up here. But you don't want to do that, because you're gonna cut into the stability of your stud. So you don't want to do that. So we'll get it figured out eventually. I hate plumbing. Hopefully you can see me, kinda. Put my 2-inch piece of pipe in right here. Supposed to use this cleaner stuff on it. Put your glue on it. Electrician tray, we don't worry about cleaning it. We just put her on there. that on there. Now I put my reducer, and it takes it down 1.5 inches. I don't know if it really matters on the drain or not. Some of you plumbers out there, make sure you tell me how bad of a job I'm doing, because I know I know I am. Alright, got that on there. Now my traps are going on. I'm sorry, my short piece. I gotta go check on my dog. Alright. Aggie and Romeo have gotten to be pretty good buddies. And Robin just went to town to get a few things. And I guess Romeo was inside and Aggie was outside. And you'd have thought she was being killed there a minute ago. She was standing in the box just whining. As soon as I let Romeo out, she quit. He was at the back door waiting on me. I guess that's what was wrong. Anywho. Alright, I'm going to try one more dry fit here. I believe it's going to be okay. Let's see if I can move this camera so I have no idea if you all can see this or not. So that's about where it's going to be. You know, it's got just a little bit of a fall on it. Doesn't need a whole lot if it's got water forcing through there. Alright. So I guess it's time to put this on. Do this. That just needs to be tightened like that. I don't know if you can hear them roosters or not. One of our roosters, man, he's got the sickest rooster crow. Sickest sounding rooster crow there ever was. I laugh almost every time I hear it. I'm getting this purple stuff all over me. Hopefully it comes out. Getting glue all over me. Can't help it. Not the best ideal situation here. That's about where it's got to be right there. Alright. Now, we do another dry fit so we can see where it's at. Just kind of sticking it in there. Alright, let me turn my camera around here. I really hope you are getting this. There it is right here. It's pretty much lined up, I think. I'm gonna have to try to lay all the way down here on my back. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I guess all I can do is try. Looks to me like it's going to hit into this other fitting. Needs to be at least right about there. If I can force it that way some. Okay, let me do some more work here. We'll see what's going on. Alright, let me see if I can get a couple things. Right here is a drain that's going up to the sink that we're going to eliminate. If you heard me talk about that. Here's the drain going up to the sink that Robin uses when she's getting ready. So I need to put my fitting right here, which means I'll need to cut some of that out of the way. How much, I'm not sure yet. So, a piece of paper that I cannot get off. You can tell I'm having a good old time. And I mentioned I hate plumbing, especially on an old trailer. Okay, let me see what I can do here. Okay, I got my sweep, whatever you call it. I got it ready. I put my cap on it because I'm not going to have anything going past there. That's getting eliminated. So it's going to be sitting like that. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like that. But when you glue it on there, you got to get the right angle. So this is a 22 degree instead of a 45. I don't really need a 45, I don't think. See how that levels it back out? But I got to get the right angle. So I already have my other piece coming that way. It's not glued in either. So for right now, I don't think I'm going to glue that in. I'm going to wait until I get that right angle, like so. I'm going to have a piece going in between those two also, because that other piece stops like right here. So I should be able to hopefully push it that way enough to get the pipe in there. I'm going to test that out here in a minute. See what happens. Okay, I've got the drain cut, existing drain cut. Now I'm trying to get the piece of wood out of the way that's in the way of my fitting. So as soon as I get that out of the way, I'll show you an update. It's just... Alright guys, I got it hooked up, but I'm not sure it's gonna hold water. I'm not sure it's not gonna leak, because this pipe here is on just enough angle this way that I had to force it. Not bad, but I had to pull it down to the trap and get my nut on there. My nut was wanting to cross thread because my 90, instead of it being straight down like that, my 90 that goes into the throat here, it was kind of on an angle like this, which was making the threads not match up. And that's because this pipe here, which you needed on some kind of an angle, but I wanted it on a little bit less of an angle. Oh, I can't get I'm kind of going underneath the steel beam here. All right, so over here, get my flashlight set up. Over here, I got my board cut out of the way. You can see, had to notch this 2x6. It's scabbed onto this other one from somebody doing something at one time. So it's not really hurting anything. It didn't have nails or screws to it. So it was just sitting there. These drain lines here are coming out. That one going that way, as I explained earlier, going to my old bathtub. This one's going to a sink that we're taking out. And then I barely, if you can see it here, I don't even know if you can see it, barely, the two fittings are right against each other. I just had that much room. I really needed to go back a little bit more because this is right against the joist. But I made it work. Hopefully it's going to hold water. I'm going to let it set overnight, really let the glue set up. I'm not sure. I'll turn this around now. I'm not sure I've got the correct fittings now I need to put my shower on off on. I've got two fittings up there, but I'm not sure they're going to be the right ones. So before I go cutting water off and everything, I'm really going to study it and deal with it tomorrow. These lines here, that's going to be my shower lines. You can see how much slack they've got. They're old lines. They've been spliced and everything else. So, I don't know if you can even see them right here. There they are. So, I'm going to probably pull all this slack, or I am going to pull all this slack up inside. What I may do is go ahead and cut all that old bathtub faucet stuff loose so I can pull them on up to get them inside the house. And then I'll deal with shortening them up or whatever I need to do. All right. Well, hopefully I see you tomorrow.